Welcome back, all my loyal patriots of Ireland and abroad. Today we have Ncap's Chara charged by Irish politicians say time to do more on Gaza. Okay, this is Virgin Media 1. We have Kieran Cuckoldry, of course, presenting. Now, like I said before, guys, I don't care about anywhere else in the world apart from Ireland. We are Ireland first. Number uno, okay? Number one. Achei Nadoa 3, okay? We are the number one place that we put first always. But of course, Ncap are some sort of celebrities in Ireland. So now we have to react to what the hell is going on there. They also put out a statement after this, which I'm going to react to. So stay tuned for that. Like, comment, subscribe. Let's see what they say about this on Virgin Media, which is obviously, the propaganda wing, okay, brainwashing wing of the media. So let's hear it.
Aid agencies say no life-saving supplies are getting through to Palestinians in Gaza as the region teeters on the brink of starvation. Yesterday, Israel officially ended its 11-month blockade to allow 100 aid trucks across the border. However, agencies say these supplies have yet to reach any of the population. Meanwhile, Taoiseach Micheál Martin says he...
And it's awful. They're starving the people of this country. I mean, these are war crimes, honestly, guys.
will demand answers from Israel after Israeli troops fired shots near Irish diplomats visiting the occupied West Bank. Micheál Martin said he was shocked and horrified by the incident. And then in some breaking news this evening, Ncap's Chara has been charged with a terrorism offence by the Metropolitan Police. The charge is in relation to the flying of a Hezbollah flag. For more on this, I'm joined by Curtis Reid.
Well, at least Ncap have an Irish flag right there on top of the car, on top of the Jeep they're jumping on.
To the flying of a Hezbollah flag. For more on this, I'm joined by Curtis Reid, who's a journalist with the Belfast Telegraph. Curtis, what more can you tell us about this charge?
Yeah, so I think the most interesting thing about the charge is the aspect, like you mentioned, about flying the Hezbollah flag. I mean, those who've been following the controversy that Ncap have found themselves in for the past few months know about the two pieces of video that emerged last month, one of which showed Ncap allegedly saying, "Kill your local MP, the only good Tory is a dead Tory," and then the other footage, which is from November 2024, in which allegedly a member shouted "Up Hamas" and "Up Hezbollah." We didn't hear much.
Yeah, so obviously they don't like Tories, which is more of a conservative party. They're obviously very liberal. Okay, Ncap are obviously extremely liberal, which is funny because most of the liberal things that they advocate for, if they were to go to any of these Muslim, Palestine countries, and any of these sort of, third world countries, not Dubai and these other beautiful other Muslim countries, but most of these other countries that are not very civilized, let's say, they would throw people off roofs, LGBT, all these people, they would harm them in horrendous ways. So it's pretty ironic that they support that. But all right, onwards with this.
Other than the Metropolitan Police said that they were investigating the video footage, but now they have said that they have charged Chara, who is named in the charge sheet as Liam O'Hanna, as 27 from Belfast, and they have said that he has actually been charged for displaying material belonging to a prescribed organisation, which is illegal to support in the UK, namely a flag.
Yeah, they also killed one of our own Irish soldiers, Sean Rooney. Last year, they shot him in the flipping head, okay, RIP to him, he was a legend, okay, in Lebanon, by Hezbollah. So I don't really understand, these guys don't really get the intricacies of politics and, overseas sort of, politics as well, so it's crazy.
So what we can gather from the charge is that that was allegedly a Hezbollah flag, and therefore he has been charged, and that the Met Police are going to take him to court.
And what might be the outcome of that, Curtis, if that court case doesn't go his way? How serious a charge is it?
It is a very serious charge. We'll start off with logics. Ncap, like most musical artists, rely heavily on touring. A charge, of displaying support for a prescribed organisation banned in the UK is obviously going to have detrimental effects on Ncap's ability to tour. Not least in the United States, but across Europe. They're very popular in the United States. They have a significant tour upcoming there at the end of the summer. That's going to have massive an impact on their visa applications to be able to get in there.
I think it's a hit job at the end of the day, guys. Now I think they're idiots for saying that. Of course, everybody in Ireland would think that. But at the same time, I defend their freedom of speech. If they want to support terrorist groups, shit, man, you can go ahead. I don't really give a shit. I wouldn't, but it's a freedom of speech thing to me. Now, at the same time, guys, I think it's a bit of a hit job because, same thing happened to Conor McGregor, same thing happened to Andrew Tate, same thing happened to Russell Brand. As soon as you get too big for your boots, as soon as you get beyond the pale, as soon as you get to a level of status that you have and you're not promoting the same message that the mainstream broadcasts are presenting, you get a hit job. 15 women 20 years ago will come out and say that you attacked them, sexually assaulted them. There'll be some sort of hit job, and everybody understands that. Everybody in the world knows that. Now, they scour through thousands of hours of Kneecap's footage to find something that that they did wrong, and now they just silenced them. They're going to be silenced. Same as Tate, same as McGregor, same as Russell Brand. 15 women came out all the same day from 25 years ago to say they assaulted him, that he assaulted them, and whether or not it's true, we don't know. We'll never know. But at the same time, guys, it's a hit piece to keep them quiet. So
obviously, just Mo Chara's and Liam's ability to get into the United States. But in terms of, the actual impact of the charge and the seriousness of the charge with their fan base, I think this sort of plays into what Ncap have always said, in regards to their anti-establishment messaging. I can't foresee many fans turning against them because of these charges. In fact, I think they'll just gain more fans from this. It's exactly the type of messaging that they have put forward in terms of, everything is a conspiracy and, that people are out to get them and their fans.
Ooh, wow. So they're using the same tactics now. So this guy's a scumbag, Belfast Telegraph. So he's saying that now that Ncap are saying that they're conspiracy theorists, everybody's out to get them. That's what they do, guys. This is the playbook. Guys, you have to understand the playbook that these people do.
Fans love them for that, and I think that this just plays into that.
Curtis Reid, thank you very much. I suspect he's right, Owen, that we'll hear the same kind of rhetoric as we heard when this story emerged a few weeks ago, that there's kind of political motivations to all of this. I mean, just setting that aside for a moment, on a personal level for these lads, and they are young lads, whatever you think about what they said, this is really, really serious stuff. And you're talking about utterly upending, their livelihoods.
I can't even listen to Kieran. Like, this is the kind of guy that you just wouldn't... Man, you would not hang out with this lad ever. Like, he's the most annoying cocked guy ever, man. Just his voice is like, oh my god, like he's such a little bitch, man. It's just like, dude, I can't even listen to that Kieran guy.
I have to say,
hold on, we got some four eyes over here. Let's hear what this guy says.
Fan of the band, somebody who's seen them live a number of times and has some sense of their view of the world. I don't think that's what they're thinking tonight. They are thinking, like most ordinary people, that on the one hand, you have this ongoing genocide playing out in real time on our TVs, radios, and social media. You have a British government, along with the US and other European governments, who are actively aiding and abetting in this war crime to the provision of weapons and intelligence. You have a humanitarian crisis unfolding on a scale that even 6 months ago, nobody thought was possible. And somehow Liam is being charged for waving a flag, stupidly in my view, but waving a flag, as if somehow he's the terrorist. Like, people need to get a sense of perspective here. Was it right to wave the flag? In my view, no, it wasn't, right? Was it right to make some of the comments they made previously? No, and they've apologized for those, but they are not the story.
Apology is not enough. When you can't apologize. when you're a kid, they tell you it's okay to be wrong. You just rub out, with your little eraser. Okay, teacher. Now when you get over 18, over 20, whatever they are, celebrity status, you are just lambasted until they make you commit suicide, guys. That's what they want. They want you to commit suicide because they want you to stop preaching that message. That's why they cancel people. Well, come cancel everyone. We know the playbook by now. It's just cancel everybody en masse. So yeah, horrendous to see what's happening to the people and the children of Palestine. But like I said, I'm Ireland first, guys. So here we have Deputy Ken O'Flynn, a speech from yesterday where he talks about how our own children of Ireland need special care but aren't getting it from the government because of a failure. We care more about overseas countries than we do our own people. It's sad to see, guys, under my leadership, that would not be the case. Everybody here gets taken care of first and foremost. That's it. End of story. So let's hear what he says about this. So
you passed a painting of Countess Markovich, Mary Robinson, a bust of Mary Robinson, a bust of Mary McAleese, women that have left indelible marks on this state. And your name is up there with the rest, those great names of women and females that have left an indelible mark on this state. But I truly, honestly mean that. But I wish it wasn't there. I wish, Chair, that a child of 14 who should be at home, meeting her friends, watching TV, playing video games, going out and living her childhood, shouldn't have to be sitting or standing outside this house to get what she needs as a child and to get what she needs for her brothers. I think it's an absolute disgrace that we're here in this house and we have children, 15,000 children, our sons, our daughters, our nieces, our nephews, our godchildren, our grandchildren, waiting because this Nixon-esque government, when the law doesn't suit you, you'll change it.
I love that. Yeah, Nixon. That's a good one. That's a good quote. So yeah, 15,000 homeless people. You know, we have children homeless. I think the homeless number is about 45,000. You know, they really soften those numbers up. 15,000 is on the low end scale. It's more like 40,000 because they don't count couch surfing as homeless. You know.
That's what Richard Nixon said. That's what Richard Nixon said. When the president does it, it isn't illegal.
Huh.
That's where you're learning from.
Yeah.
This government.
It's a communist fascist government, guys. It's a Marxist, you know, liberal sort of DEI woke government that we have. I mean, it's absolutely horrendous here.
Wants to break the laws yet again.
Oh yeah.
I'm sorry for getting emotional, Chair. We have laws broken. We 14,000, over 14,000, 4,000 assessments were carried out last year. That's not progress. That's failure. These aren't statistics. These are children. Children in need of with speech delays, children who cannot walk, children who are locked out of supports and needs of a full life, a life of dignity. Let me say plainly, this state is breaking its own law and not in doing so is breaking the trust of every family waiting in hope and despair. Many of those families are in my office or on my phone to me, are breaking the hearts of my staff. I've had mothers, one mother from Tipperary on the phone to me, telling me that she's financing the special needs education unit in the school, and she's paying for the training of the teacher that was put in, because that teacher that was put in by this government has no training whatsoever when it comes to special needs.
Wow, that's insane.
And she's paying for the language therapy for that school so her child can be helped.
Yeah, they're not subsidizing the things they should be subsidizing. You know, it just feels like complete lack of, you know, purpose, lack of, you know, direction.
Ciaran, we in Independent Ireland are calling on the government to act urgently, honestly and effectively. First, we ask you to fund the Chara fund immediately to clear the backlog, not in 6 months, but not by the next budget, but do it now.
Oh yeah.
Do it now. Second, set a national emergency without delay of real public targets to comply and complete within the 6 months legislation required.
And they should be flipping trying to, you know, get rid of the homelessness, you know, help the housing.
Third, deliver a workforce plan to recruit and retain specialists who are so badly lack the speech and therapy, psychologists, physiotherapy and behavioural teams.
Yeah, they don't have helpers for special needs. I mean, it's horrendous, guys. You know, nothing here is paid for. It's like done on like when something bad happens, it's like a response. You know, we need to be pre-responsive. We need to be flipping, you know, capitalizing on what the hell is going to happen in the future. You know, and these situations are horrendous.
And finally, we ask you to fund the therapies and school places of these children who do not thrive.
Yeah.
Ciaran Corla, our chair, this is more than about legislation. This is about justice. It's about decency.
Yep.
It's about whether we are a republic that stands by those who need us most. Or are we a republic who turns away and uses the excuse of red tape?
Oh yeah, red tape for everything. It's all bullshit in this country. I absolutely hate to see it, guys. Absolutely disgraceful. So yeah, I think it's an absolute disgrace that the government of Ireland care more about what's happening overseas than they do actually what's happening in Ireland. Okay, so shout out to Flynn. He's great. here we have Ncap's statement from all of that, okay? So Ncap, you know, we're going to flipping court, going to jail, apparently, okay? The guy Chara is going to go to jail, Chara. So Ncap's statement is 14,000 babies are about to die of starvation in Gaza, with food being sent by the world on the other side of the wall, and once again the British establishment is focused on us. We deny this offence and will vehemently defend ourselves. This is political policing. This is a carnival of distraction. We are not the story. Genocide is. So yeah, they're trying to really push back against the UK government. As they profit from genocide, they use anti-terror law against us for displaying a flag thrown on stage. Obviously the flag was stupid, but like I said, guys, this is just a hit piece, you know, honestly. A charge not that serious enough to be even warrant their own crown court, instead a court that does not have a jury. What's their objective? So they don't have a jury, guys. I mean, that'll tell you something. To restrict our ability to travel, to prevent us speaking to young people across the world, to silence voices of compassion, to prosecute artists who dare speak out. Instead of defending innocent people or the principles of international law they claim to uphold, the powerful in Britain have abetted slaughter and famine in Gaza just as they did in Ireland for centuries. Then, like now, they claim justification. The IDF units they arm and fly spy plane missions for are the real terrorists. The whole world can see it. Ooh, this is getting intense, guys. This is getting intense, I'm telling you. Now the third part, we stand proudly with the people. You stand complicit with the war criminals. We are on the right side of history. You are not. We will fight for you in court. We will fight you in your court. We will win. Free Palestine. Damn. That is some powerful stuff, guys. So absolutely, fully kind of, I don't like Ncap. I think they're a bit odd or whatever, but definitely in regards to fighting back against the establishment, it's good to see that some young people have some backbone nowadays, okay? So let me know what your thoughts are on that down below. We have the last video today. I thought this was pretty funny. Somebody just linked me this yesterday. So I reacted to Pat Kenny getting, lambasted and shouted at by that guy, some guy named Alan or something in the, I think it was Liveline or something years and years and years ago. Today we have another guy heckling Pat Kenny and attacking him live on the Late Late Show. I don't know if you can classify this as assault. I don't know what he said to him, but apparently this is crazy. So like, comment, subscribe. Let's see what Pat Kenny, the POS Pat Kenny, okay, he's a scumbag, he's an arm of government. Let's see what he has to respond when somebody is insulting him. Let's hear it. They just kiss?
You should have shaved before you did that, Brendan. How are
You're
you?
a censor. How dare you?
What?
Gayborn and you are you're unstoppable arseholes. You arsehole.
Thank you very much.
You piece of shit.
Hey, that was class.
Sorry for that rude interruption.
So he said, you and Pat Kent, you and Gay Byrne are a piece of shit. Now, they run the Late Late Show, and for those who don't know, there is a massive lack of support in the news now, okay? Even young people, nobody watches RT1 or anything like that anymore. They don't watch the mainstream news. But what they still do watch, same in the US, Jimmy Kimmel, Saturday Night Live. People watch the Late Late Show. They watch the Late Late Toy Show. They watch all these other programs that are sort of related to RT. Of course, they're on RT, but they're more mainstream. They're more popular with the youth, with people in their 40s and 50s, the youth, I call them. Okay, nobody over 65, until you're elderly, OAP over 65, but they're popular with the youth, so they have to push their messages in RTE shows such as the Late Late Show, the Late Late Toy Show, news talk segments. They have to push their brainwashing and propaganda through these mediums. Okay, they used to be able to push it out to the news, but nobody watches the news or nobody believes the news anymore. So they use these late talk shows where they bring on celebrities and they push propaganda and bullshit in the news. So it's amazing to see that people like this guy stood up to them once again. I love you all. Let me know your thoughts. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you want to help me keep pushing back against the mainstream media, drop a comment down below. And hit the join link underneath the video. Become a member for just €5 a month. Helps support me. And I will see you all in the next one, guys. Peace.